Hey guys, here we are with example number 2, and this is a personal favorite of mine. I think it's absolutely hysterical, so I hope you enjoy it as well. So I'll do the same thing I did last time where I read it out loud to you and kind of talk you through some of the things that this writer does, just kind of give you some ideas on how you can put your essay together. So this one is, I think about this a lot, the opening lines of Pitbull in Ne-Yo's Time of Our Lives. Let me start by saying I love Pitbull. All right, first of all, we're supposed to laugh. No one is supposed to ever admit that they like Pitbull. As I don't know if you even consider him like a real musician. However, we all know his songs, and she goes on to explain why she loves his song so much. This essay, too, I should say, does have some inappropriate things in it, but you know, you're old enough now. You'll be fine. For years, I forced myself to listen to sad, boring music made by despondent men in beards and sweaters who probably never popped a bottle of Cristal or partied on a yacht in Miami in their lives, because that's what all the guys I wanted to make out with listened to. I can now confidently say those were wasted years. Pitbull's music fills me with a fizzy, delirious delight. His songs sound like cotton candy flavored vodka tastes, a nauseating technicolor flashback to when you were young and dumb and full of hope and probably nursing a nasty belly ring infection. Dale. Okay, first of all, I have no idea why she yells Dale at the end of it. I'm sure it's some shout out to some guy who got a belly ring, which is bizarre that a guy would get that. Anyway, notice that she is very, very descriptive here. She's using a lot of references to Pitbull's song with the idea of popping a bottle of Cristal. Yes, it is Cristal, not Crystal. Or partying on a yacht in Miami, because everybody knows that Pitbull's from Miami because he says it in every song. And so she keeps going there with this idea of like the fizzy, delirious delight. But her language is really, really good. It should make you laugh a little bit. It should make you feel that bubbly, kind of like party feel that she wants you to get from Pitbull's music, which is what she gets from Pitbull's music. So she's very effective in her imagery. Because Pitbull's music fills me with such pure, unadulterated joy, it saddens me that the song of his I find myself thinking about more than any other is one that causes me so much angst. It's one that rears its bald, indoor sunglass wearing, soul patched head in the dark of night while I'm tucked away in bed, taking stock of all my fears and shortcomings. It is this 2014 collaboration with Ne-Yo, Time of Our Lives, specifically the first 15 seconds. Again, she references Pitbull, particularly what he looks like, and we can all picture him, even if you don't have a picture at the top, but you can see him in your head because that's what he always looks like. I like the description of indoor sunglass wearing. You can see that she's poking fun at this. She knows it's ridiculous that Pitbull is her favorite music artist. Right? If you're not really paying attention, which most people aren't when they listen to Mr. Worldwide songs, usually because they're at a club or pre-gaming a sorority formal, it sounds like any other bop. Ne-Yo trills his falsettos, there's a vertiginous drop, Pitbull rasps some lines about a freaky girl, rinse and repeat. It is everything I want in a song, and yet every time I try to listen to it, the opening lines stop me in my tracks. Again, the humor referencing to Pitbull's Mr. Worldwide should make you laugh. I was working out this morning, one of Pitbull's songs actually came on, and I giggled to myself in the middle of a burpee because of the Mr. Worldwide reference. So, okay, you can laugh at this. All right, I will not sing this to you or rasp it, as she says, because that would just be terrifying. But I want you to read it, and I want you to all get Pitbull's voice in your head as he says those opening lines. Oh, Ne-Yo sings those, sorry. Ne-Yo sings these lyrics for the cheery insouciance, but without fail, they cause me to panic. I worry for the unnamed protagonist who seems making a profoundly irresponsible financial decision. What happens the day after they get off in the club? Where will they live if they can't pay their rent? What does it say about our barbaric economy that even people working their asses off are still struggling to make ends meet? And why do I have attention headache before the chorus has even started? This is a rhetorical device, right? We see rhetorical questions over and over again. And her point is to make us get her attention headache. She wants us to feel how stressed this song makes her. I find it particularly funny that she references the unnamed protagonist. I think that's a great line. So you can see how good and solid this writing is and how she really feels about this song. A few weeks ago, I started asking my friends if they were similarly concerned by these lyrics, and while they all agreed that the song was a banger, to my dismay, no one seemed to have noticed the ill-advised financial decisions being made in the opening lines. Desperate for affirmation, I turned to my peers in the YouTube comment section under the Pitbull Time of Our Lives lyric featuring Ne-Yo video and found that I was not alone. Again, she is being very self-deprecating here. Anybody who comes to you and asks you if you've ever really thought about the song lyrics to a Pitbull song is probably not all that serious, and you would laugh at them. But she is, she's jokingly taking herself serious with how much the song bothers her. And then, of course, she makes fun of herself. This is irony here. She really doesn't have peers in the YouTube comments section. But she writes it as if these are really trusted people, and I'm really going to see what they say, even though she knows it's ridiculous. So these next ones are all quotes from people who commented on YouTube. Two rich guys telling us not to pay our rent, said Therese. Worst financial advice ever, marked Big Dig Big. Thumbs up if you turned up the volume, wrote Anthony. I appreciated Anthony's enthusiasm, and I had, in fact, turned up the volume because, financial tips aside, this song is a delight. But like Therese and Big Dig Big, the kind of devil-may-care attitude Mr. Worldwide and Neo seem to be espousing made me pause. But someone named Amir had another take. So this is another one of her, quote, peers on YouTube. People nowadays expect every song to have a message, he wrote. No, these type of songs just make you feel better and put you in a better mood. You want messages? Morals? Go listen to something else or read Shakespeare, LOL. Not everything in life has to be serious, or we won't be happy or have fun. Amir had a great point. Pitbull's discography does put me in a better mood, and that should be enough. I shouldn't also expect it to dole out valuable life advice. Still, in my quiet, vulnerable moments, I notice those lyrics floating menacingly through my head and worry, because I am the person getting off in the club, even though my rent is going to be late. Okay, so she is very slowly getting to how this song has influenced her. Right? She spends a lot of time with the jokingness, and I looked on YouTube, and she has yet to really say what she really thinks about it. She's going to get into it now. I try to be frugal and responsible. I eat in, I wear my shoes and bras until they dissolve into dust on my body. I set aside money in my savings account. But once in a while, usually at a bar, usually after 2.5 cocktails, I too decide to get off, spend too much money in this club, our Brooklyn dive bar full of people in oversized denim jackets. I buy round after round of drinks for friends and strangers. I call single person Ubers and Seamless. I consume horrendous amounts of cheese and fried carbs and then decide it's time to buy a statement blazer online. The next day, scrolling blearily through my bank account, realizing I transferred $100 out of my savings account at 2 a.m. so I get a DNA testing kit for my dog, I hear Neo's voice. I hear it when I try to make a budget for myself and know that as careful and conservative as I might be in my planning, I can't account for the times after a trying day of work, my checking account is already skin and bones. I convince myself that a fancy top will solve all of my earthly problems. I hear it when I read people's money diaries and when I wonder whether I will ever be able to afford an apartment without roommates. And I hear it the most when I find myself worrying about these things and then texting a friend to go out anyway. Hey, let's get it now. Okay, so she ends with a quote from the song as well. But it, like I said, it takes her longer in this sample than the one about Ursula and the lipstick to get to her point. She spends much more time on the actual those lyrics, those first couple lines that stand out to her. Whereas in the first one that we looked at, the author spends significantly less time explaining the scene to you and then going into how it impacted her. So you have options here. If you want to spend more time talking about your meme or your lyrics or your line from a movie or whatever, you can. Okay. But don't be afraid to infuse humor. Most of you have a really, really good sense of humor, and if you can write it in and get your voice across, your essay will stand out quite a bit. Okay, so have fun with it. I made my husband read it, and he laughed just as much as I did. So, all right, guys, I will send the next one tomorrow. Have a great day.